Senator, one tactic that you've been using in these final days is robocalls, automated telephone calls into people's homes. And let's listen to one of them. Here it is.
You need to know that Barack Obama has worked closely with Domestic Terrorist Bill Ayers, whose organization bombed the U.S. Capitol, the Pentagon, a judge's home, and killed Americans.
Senator, back in 2000...
That is absolutely true.
Can I ask the question?
But before you do, that is absolutely true. And I don't care about Mr. Ayers, and his wife, who was on the top 10 most wanted list. I care about everybody knowing the relationship between the two of them. That's legitimate. Senator Obama and Bill Ayers served on a board of the Woods Foundation, and they gave $230,000 to Acorn. What's that all about? He said that he was just a guy in the neighborhood. He wasn't just a guy in the neighborhood. We need to know the full extent of that relationship. That is an accurate robocall.
But Senator, if I may, back in 2000, when you were the target of robocalls, you called these hate calls, and you said the following: I promise you, I have never and will never have anything to do with that kind of political tactic. Now, you've hired the same guy who did the robocalls against you to, reportedly, to do the robocalls against Obama, and the Republican Senator Susan Collins, the co-chair of your campaign in Maine, has asked you to stop the robocalls. Will you do that?
Of course not. These are legitimate and truthful, and they are far different than the phone calls that were made about my family and about certain aspects, things that this is dramatically different. And either you didn't see those things in 2000,
no, I saw them,
or you don't know the difference between that and what is a legitimate issue, and that is Senator Obama being truthful with the American people. But let me tell you what else I think you should be talking about and the American people should be talking about. In the debate the other night, I asked Senator Obama to repudiate a statement made by John Lewis, a man I admire and respect and have written about, that connected me.
This is the congressman, the civil rights leader.
Civil rights leader, American hero, that connected me and Sarah Palin to segregationists, to the campaign of George Wallace, and even alluded to the bombing of a church where four children were killed. And I asked him to repudiate that statement. I have repudiated every statement made by any fringe person in the Republican Party. And it has come up from time to time, and it probably will. The fact that Senator Obama would not repudiate that statement, I think, is something the American people will make a judgment about. That robocall is accurate, is totally accurate, and there is no comparison between it and the things that were done and said in South Carolina.
I want to ask you about William Ayers. Last May, Bill O'Reilly asked you about Ayers and also about Reverend Jeremiah Wright, and here's what you had to say. Let's watch.
This campaign is not going to be about, in all due respect, about Reverend Wright or Mr. Ayers. It's going to be about vision. It's going to be about a plan of action for the American people who are hurting right now.
But Senator,
that's exactly what the campaign is about.
Let me ask the question. Yeah, sure. But Senator, according to a New York Times poll this week, and let's put it up on the screen, there you can see it, 62% of independents now think you're spending more time attacking Obama than explaining what you would do as president. Haven't you gone on the attack against Ayers because you're behind?
Facts are stubborn things. Senator Obama has spent more money on attack ads against me than any campaign in history. In all due respect to that kind of poll, I know what kind of campaign we're running. I know what we're saying at the rallies. We need to keep Americans in their home. We need to create jobs. We need to keep taxes low. We need to restore this economy. That's what this campaign is all about, and that's why we're going to do well, and that's why we're going to win. Of course, Mr. Ayers is an issue. Of course, there's Acorn is an issue. There's a number of issues that are out there. But what Americans want to hear is what we're telling them. And that says we're not going to spread the wealth around. We don't think we need to do that. We're going to create jobs. We're going to have Joe the plumber create jobs for America, and we're going to show him the way to do it by keeping taxes low and restoring our economy. And we can talk about this process stuff for the entire time we're together. I'm glad to do that. But my message to the American people is I got a plan to get our economy out of the ditch, and that's what we're going to do.